Hi, I'm Leanne Ely. I'm a nutritionist, a New York Times best-selling author, and some people even say I'm a life coach. I started the Daily Dish Show to share my story, my truth, and my journey to vibrancy, and to inspire others to do the same. Because it's all about grit, perseverance, and finding a way despite the odds. It's about embracing the whole woman, not just the parts that are easy to love, and feeding her heart, mind, body, and soul. But I found that this isn't just my story, it's your story too. It's go time. This is the Daily Dish. Ta-da! We're all here. It's a good thing. Listen, Jenny and I are holding on by a thread, okay? I just send us all the needles. We need the needles to sew this thing back together. Thank you. Catherine said she loved the webinar. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Jocelyn, it's good to see you. It's good to have you here as well. I see Catherine and Jocelyn so far in the house. I know there's more here, but listen, last night's webinar was special because this is the first time in 9 years that we have done anything different, that we've introduced anything new. Because the Sprint webinar has always been, this is the Sprint, 2015. I introduced it. It was the result of everyone asking, what did you do? Because I lost a whole truckload of weight. And I share exactly what it was that I did, the supplements, the program, and how it worked. Well, I felt like it needed a little updating with the new research that's out on protein, with the new research that's out on healthy aging, shall we say. Thank you, Jocelyn. I appreciate that so much. I also did some research on what is the needle mover? What is it that makes things happen for people? What do they need? What is the best thing ever? And I know for me and for you, the more prepared I am, the better I perform. Duh, right? That's just the way it is. Also, the more things are set up, the more mindset pieces in place, everything, the better I can do it. And then if I come along behind after I've started everything and dial it in, the whole thing blows up. That's exactly what we've done. We've done a Just Essentials Sprint, a new one, and we've done the whole experience, which is when you get laser coaching. If you want to find out about all of this, because I'm not going to go into all the big juicy core detail, all of this information is available at savingdinner.com/hub. Strong suggestion, get it now, and then also order your kit. Now the kits are normally, we have a nice 15% healthy discount on them. But this only until what I think this coming, I think till tomorrow, we have a 25% discount on them. So you can find those kits at savingdinner.com/show. That's our special of the week. Actually, we're going to be doing this week. And the reason why is because, and just hear me, when I created the Hot Melt Sprint, I did it using those protein shakes, the collagen shake that we have, the collagen, our perfect paleo protein, the fiber and all of that. I did it on purpose because of everything that's in it. It puts all the nutrition on point in one healthy glassful. Easy to do. Hey, Alice. And the reason that I created this scrambled egg situation is for those of people who just can't tolerate it, or they live in another part of the world and they can't get our kit. But my strong suggestion is you get your kit. You want to go in, go all in. Do it 100%. Do your pinkies up and go. That's what this is all about. And my stronger suggestion is that you do it with the laser coaching. That means that you're going to go with the whole experience, because it is an experience. If we want to move the needle in our lives, if we want that up-leveled, vibrant life, we have to go all in. Burn the ships. Let's do it. Am I right? I am. Anyway, so that's what we have going on this week. We are super focused and ready to go and get started on what it is that's next. And what it is that's next is this new sprint. What it is that's next is building this habit of having a smoothie every day and getting your nutrition dialed in. One of the things that this also does is it helps you with any kind of food noise, food issues that you might be having. Trust me, I know about this stuff. Anyway, it's right there. And I will tell you, I wholeheartedly recommend that you go back and watch that webinar. We sent the link out in today's email. And funny enough, the quote this week totally aligns with everything that we're talking about, right? Totally. This life isn't driven by the you who settles or gives up or gives into procrastination and doubt, but by the optimal you, the best you, the confident you, the healthy you. Remember we were talking about this? I think it was in one of our courses, about who the authentic you is and how we have to open her up and bring her back and nurture her along. You know, that's exactly it. And today we're going to be diving into this law of assumption. We're going to talk about this. It's a Neville Goddard thing from way, way, way back. And I want to share all this stuff with you because to me, this is such a juicy tidbit. And it's a helpful thing to help move us into thinking about all the things. Lynn, lovely to see you. Chris, I'm glad you're here too. And I'll tell you, besides all of this stuff that we've got going on, we also have Recreate Your Life. That's our book club. And our book club has some awesome books on it. You can find everything at savingdinner.com/recreate. It comes with a workbook, comes with everything else, and you can find that here as well. And these are all the things. This is how you entrench your life into dealing with those 4 rooms, like the Indian proverb says. You know, we have to have those 4 rooms opened up, at least touched every single day: heart, mind, body, and soul. We've been talking about that for years. That's how you fully bloom. That's how you walk into and claim your vibrancy. So before we get into this, I have a story to tell you, and I'm also asking for prayer. Okay? The first thing is this law of assumption. First of all, Caroline came over yesterday. We were working on some stuff. We're getting some stuff done and all of that. And I was a complete and total basket case. I had somehow lost my phone on Saturday night, came home from a friend's house for dinner. And I mean, what's going on there, right? Just go into the house and, drop it, drop my stuff on the bed. Mark was going to put the new sheets on. I was going to finish up the dishes, get everything cleaned up, and blah, blah, blah. That's all. We got home around 9. And then I'm like, where's my phone? I had 2 places it could be. It could be on the bed or it could be in the kitchen counter. Hey, Jane, you got to hear this. Anyway, long story short, I could not find it. And I went to bed and I was up half the night thinking, where is it? No, it's under the bed. I need to go get the flashlight. No, I need to go to sleep. You know the story. Anybody do this ever? So finally, the next day, I spent the day looking in this tiny area of our house. Like, where is it? And then it still didn't come. Then that's Sunday. Still couldn't find it. Caroline, it's Monday, yesterday. Caroline comes over. And Caroline comes over. And she says, I know we can find it. And I said, Caroline, you're assuming it's going to be that easy. It's just not. I've taken this place apart. I know it's here though, because my earbuds synced up with it when I was standing in my bedroom. So the long story short, we went back over my steps, and I talked about how I walked from here into my house and then into the bedroom. And I said, and I had my sweater in my hand and my phone, and I had to kind of shimmy down because Mark parked real close to what is going to end up being our island. He's working on it in the garage because our garage is a construction zone. And on Friday night, we went and listened to some music, and we had those chairs, the chairs that you squish together and they have the big thing in it. The phone slipped out and dropped into that chair. And I'm walking by showing her, this is how I was walking by, and looked down, and there's the phone. The law of assumption. The law of assumption is a technique that asserts that your beliefs about yourself and your environment are directly going to shape your reality. And by walking back through this, by Caroline assuming we are going to find it, and by me retracing our steps like that and looking down and the expectation of it, there is my phone. Because with all of this going on, also I have a concern about my Lincoln dog, which if you read my Facebook page, you know, he's got 3 huge lymph nodes all on the side, on his right side. Right here is right here under his neck, big one, the size of a goose egg. He's got another one on his chest, and he's got another one behind his knee. And the doctor's concerned because they've never seen anything like it when it's all on one side of the body. The blood work says not cancer, but they had to do a biopsy, and we're waiting for the results. So between the phone and the dog, I was a wreck and crying all the time. And that is not my gig. I got wrapped up in that stuff instead of assuming that things are going to be right, that things are going to work themselves out. I say all the time, I have it written on my wall. I say this, I write it in my journal. Life is always working out for me. Why wouldn't it work out for finding a lost phone? Why wouldn't it work out for whatever diagnosis I get with my dog, that I'll be able to help him and we'll be able to get through this together? That's why I want to talk about this today, because sometimes we need a massive reframe. Otherwise, we sink into this hole, this abyss of self-pity, of fear. Boy, I'm telling you, the fear almost took my breath away. And I'm normally not like that. It just seemed like things piled on. It seemed like there was a lot. I've got some business stuff that I'm dealing with as well. It's just everything seemed a lot. And everything is a lot. So while I prayed, while I did my affirmations, while I did all of the things that we're supposed to be doing, I was messing up by not giving the right assumption and reframe to what it is that I wanted. Because it's not just the universe gives you blah, 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 it's not that. It's also your particular activating system is going to seek out the evidence to support the thing you believe. Period. And I know that. And yet I went down that dark path. And so when I found that phone yesterday, I held that phone up. I had a vision of myself holding that phone up and going, see, I found it. And that's what I said to Mark. I said, see, I found it. I went to him. He was in his office right after, because I felt like I had to seal the deal, because that's what I saw was, see, I found it. And now I'm working on, thank God, the results are in and everything is on our side. So the reframe that I'm talking about is something we can all do. And it doesn't involve fanciful woo-woo. It doesn't involve you having to lie to yourself. It puts it into a different perspective. And I've got some tricks about this whole thing, because I had a major aha about this. And I'm going to go through and give you some stuff that you can do. If you're a note taker, great. If you're not, you should be signed up for our newsletter, because tomorrow's newsletter, all the show notes will be in there. Okay. All you have to do is go to savingdinner.com and we'll do that. We also have recipes, all kinds of yummy, fun stuff, and today's announcements, of course. So let's start with what we want. Okay. First of all, there's a definition involved here of how it is that you define what it is that you want. Absolutely clearly. You remember what I said about the vision that I had of finding my phone and going, here it is. That's it. That's all it has to be. And sometimes we take it to this degree of making it so hard that we feel like we have to have this big, exotic visualization thing going. It doesn't need to be. It just needs to be even a couple of blinks of your eye and thinking, this is what I would like this outcome to be. This is what I would like. This is what I believe that life is always working out for me. Because it is. We can believe that. We can rest our hopes on that. Because when we're aligning our thoughts and our feelings, the reality we want to experience starts to happen. It starts to happen. Sometimes it takes more than a little and more time than we'd like. We've all experienced that. I mean, I've experienced that big time, within relationships. But when it comes to different things, different situations like what I'm talking about today, we have the ability for a quick reframe, for a quick visualization thing. So visualize the detail. It's very simple. I reached down and I picked it up and I held it out and I showed Mark. That was it. It was that simple. And then the second thing you need to do is shift your beliefs, because we have to, and this is Neville Goddard says, you have to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Wayne Dyer's talked about that too. And basically that means that assuming that your desire is worthwhile, a worthwhile and worthy cause, something that's important, then it can be a reality. Allow for that, and allow for, things can be solved. Things can be taken care of. It doesn't have to be this whole dreadmill that you're living in. But it's also, you feel the emotion, that victory of holding up the phone, for example. That emotion that I feel of relief when I hear on the phone that the doctor says, everything's fine. I think he's just had this infection or whatever it is, and however they do. But when we feel the emotion behind it, we can start to get behind it. And that doesn't mean that we're like God manipulating, the universe, that kind of a thing. It just means that we are standing in the place of hope and of dreams and of wishes fulfilled and of what that could be like. I use positive affirmations too. I am getting a call. And when this is the hack, by the way, for when you're saying, yeah, I do those affirmations, but I just don't believe it. It's a lie. I'm saying I am rich. I am this, I am that. And it's just not true. I am inviting in. It's been one of the things that I've started to do. I am inviting in the prospect of fill in the blank. I am inviting in good news. I am inviting in an invitation to speak on a big stage. That's one of the things that I have on my new dream board. That's one of the things that I really want to pursue in 2025. So I'm inviting this in. Am I seeing it? Not quite yet. Am I working on it? You betcha. I've got my speech all ready to go. I've got everything all together. Is it there yet? Not quite. But will it be? You betcha. And so that's what we do with these affirmations. You invite in. Do you like that one? I hope you do, because that's lovely. We can all get behind I am inviting in. That's not a lie. That's a truth. That's a big truth. I'm opening the door to this. I'm inviting it in. I'm having a party at my house. Come on in, right? Then you need to start your visualization practice. And I like to do this first thing in the morning before I get up. What do I want for this day? Frame your day. I want good news. I want that phone to be found. I want that victory here. And as we do this, we can start setting this up. We emotionally attach to it a little bit, don't we? And we can experience our goal as if it's really happening. Because that's the whole thing about this whole manifestation thing, this woo-woo stuff. It's our reticular activating system that we're pushing the button on. That's part of your brain. That's the cool part. And as we go to bed, we do the same thing. And we let our subconscious work on us. Because what is it that's going to make this work for us? What are the things? It's feeling as if it's already happened is what it is. And that's the wish fulfilled that Neville Goddard talks about. And that brings us to number 4, is to act in alignment with our desires. We've talked about that how many times? Act as if. Your alignment assignment is to be and to say and to do the things that you want, to be in alignment with them. If I were to sit here and do the sprint while I'm sitting there sucking down a big Coke and eating a hamburger from McDonald's, I think you might have a problem with that. There's no alignment there. They're completely out of whack. But if we can go throughout our day seeing ourselves in alignment, taking action in alignment with our goals, with our desires, we're putting power and energy behind the whole shooting match. You see that? Isn't that so cool? I love this because it's all about our energy levels and where we're putting it. Because so often our habit has been to put all of our energy into the negative. And boy, howdy do I understand about that. I just went through 3 days of torture with all of that. Sleepless nights, the whole bit. I allowed myself to go there. And I kept thinking, I've got to not do this. This is crazy. And now that I'm on the other side of it, I'm looking at it and saying, okay, so what was my assumption, right? So what was my morning like? My morning was, I have to find this. What if I don't find this? What about Lincoln? Blah, 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 blah. What was my evening like? Same thing. What do you think I did when I slept? Horribly, fitfully, hand-wringingly, right? None of this, none of this. But if you're in alignment, you're taking action with the things that you want. Behind that is what you want, is your heart's desire. This is one of the reasons why I'm so fired up about our whole experience, the new Hot Melt Sprint that we're doing. Because this is how we dial things in, the action that goes behind everything. It is everything. It means everything. It fixes us in a place where we're seeing ourselves in a whole new light and a whole lot more powerfully. That's pretty cool. And we need to stay mindful, right? And let me just tell you something. Being mindful means that you are going to be outside of your comfort zone. Mindfulness does not happen on your couch. It happens as you're chopping up your vegetables for your soup. It happens as you're putting your soup into your mindful mug and saying, you know what? I am going to be mindful about my food. I am going to change my mind about my relationship with food. And I don't know about you. I've been working on this for a number of years. And what I've noticed is that if I take that 30 seconds, it changes everything. It stops me from gulping down my food like I'm, a starving kid in some place around the world, and makes me think about what I'm eating, makes me appreciate it. It brings gratitude to the table. It up levels the whole vibe. That's what it's all about. Because with that mindset, that travels into everything that you see, everything that you say, everything that you do. That's how powerful it is. So when you find yourself reverting into the focus on the old garbage that has gotten you nowhere, that's gotten you into the place of hand wringing, when you find yourself in that, when you find yourself doubting, put yourself back into the place of gently steering yourself to the place of wish fulfilled, like Neville Goddard says. Make your new assumption and reframe where it is that you want to go with that. Hey, Sue. Chris had a cosmic 2x4. I like that. And you know what? Guess what? If you've ever learned something that's been worth anything, I don't care if it's crocheting, learning a new language, pickleball. You knew I had to throw that in there. Going to the gym, Lynn, am I right? She's a personal trainer. She knows. Lifting weights. Everything is done by repetition. Do not get bored with yourself. Do not get bored with the fact or upset or frustrated with the fact that you're going to slide back. Because guess what, girlfriend? You are human. You're going to slide back. It's going to happen. I guarantee it. But here's your saving grace. You can reframe it and say, there it is. Oops, here we go. We're not going there. Instead, this is what I'm going to do. This is my shift. This is my reframe. This is what I know. Life is always working out for me. This is what I know. I am inviting in all the goodness that this world has to offer. I am inviting in all of God's good blessings into my life. Invite it all in. Open invitation. It's an open house. Everyone come. Repetition realigns your goals, your vision for yourself, your life, your vibrancy. Repetition is consistency. Repetition is life itself. You empty your dishwasher every day, don't you? Right? We fill it up every day with dirty dishes. We let the dishwasher do its thing. We empty it every day. Why can't we do this simple thing with our lives, with our thoughts? Load them up, wash them, put them away. We can do this. Your reality is that you want is more likely to manifest when you keep reframing what it is that you want and stop dwelling on the stuff you don't. Because I guarantee you right now, every single one of us has a big, fat, juicy list of things that we don't want. Every single one of us. But we also have dreams, and we put our dreams into this category over here. And we look at them and we say, wouldn't it be nice? Oh gosh, I can hope and I wish. Isn't it beautiful? For 2 seconds, and then we go back to what it is that we know, our reality. And that's where we saute and simmer. It's like a crock pot, again and again and again. Unnecessary. The next thing is surround ourselves with positivity. Don't you want people in your life who are doing the same thing that you are? Don't you want people in your life that are working on the same ideas and the same reality and the same reframes and wanting to go into that up-leveled way of life? Of course you do. You want to be around vibrant women. I do. You want to be in a community with them. You want to go a step further and have a sisterhood. That is the only way to live. That is the way, and the research proves it, that our lives become that much better, that our lives become juicy and delicious and wonderful. And then I'm going to tell you one thing that I bet you're going to have a hard time with. Let go. Trust the process. Do that work, and then don't start hand-wringing over the good stuff. Why isn't it here? But I've been doing this work. It should show up. You go to Amazon and you order something. Most of us we order it and get it done, blah, blah, blah. And we just wait. It just comes and whatever. Most of the time, I never even look at what my notifications are on when it's going to come. It just shows up in the mail. Oh, I ordered that. Yeah. This is what it is with what we're doing now. You can assume that what you want and you're putting the work and the energy toward is going to show up because you're putting your energy toward that. But allow it to. Just allow. You have patience and faith. Patience and faith, what a thing. We all have that. Oh, Mary, bless you. Thank you for that. Love you. Do the work, but also hold it with a loose hand and allow God to show you his magnificence. You don't think that's his work doing all this good stuff for you? Of course it is. That's what love is. Your deepest desires will manifest as we put it out there and we put our energy toward them. The key is consistency. It's that repetition. It's that belief and that willingness to put it out there and then to let it sit. Let it go. Act as if it's already happened. And I'll tell you, with some time and with some patience, you'll find that the thing that you're envisioning will be just like my iPhone. You're going to go, oh, look, there it is. I'm telling you, God has a sense of humor and he has endless love for you. Why wouldn't he show up like that in your life? Right? All right, that's all I have for you. Don't you dare forget about the announcements today. Go to savingdinner.com/announcements. That's where you're going to find the links for the new sprint, which I am on fire about. I want you to be too. We start on September 9th, and I want you there. All right? Peace be with you. Thanks so much for showing up today. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining me today.
You can find me on TikTok for daily tips to help support your most vibrant life. And remember, you are the author of your own story. Until next time.